Hey everyone, I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. For those of you who are brand new to Mental Health Moment and this is your first Mental Health Moment show, welcome. And thanks so much for joining here. And for those of you who are tuning into the replay on Dr. Nekeshia Hammond YouTube, be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe to the page. Excuse me, you guys. I'm still getting over my cold here from weeks ago. So welcome. Thanks so much for joining. Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from here today. Unfortunately, I had to make this a pre-recorded video, but don't leave the video today because I'll obviously let you know what we're going over today for Mental Health Moment. But the reason why is because as we speak, as you're watching this, I am finishing up on a project called Power of Thanksgiving, which is something some of you that are not new to Mental Health Moment and have been here for many years know that around Thanksgiving time, I do that event with the Ryan Neese Foundation. So because I can't be in two places at once, you all, I'm still waiting for this clone. I'm sure some way, somehow it'll come about. But because I can't be in two places at once, I'm pre-recording this for you all today. If you are new and you haven't been following along the last couple of weeks here, now or a couple of weeks ago until the end of the year, I'll be going through my newest book, Mindset Training, Conquer Your Mind, and the rest will follow. Thank you all again for the love and support related to the book. Super appreciate it. It is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart.com, booksamillion.com. Any online book retailer does have the book. Tonight or today, depending on what part of the world you are in, we'll be going through chapter 9. And before I go through chapter 9 with you all, I do want to share a couple of quick announcements here. Next month, December 18th, 2024 at 1 p.m. Eastern, I will be on a panel of amazing women with the International Association of Women. That information is also on my LinkedIn as well. I can't remember if I pinned it. If not, I will try to pin it for you all to get that information of how to register. I know many of you have asked, like, where am I speaking at next? Sometimes, or a lot of times, actually, it's more private events, but those two are obviously open to the public. So just want to give you that announcement. Hopefully you all can make it, and I will see you all there at that event. All right, so getting into, again, mindset training, conquer your mind, and the rest will follow. We are up to chapter 9, you all, for those of you. And by the way, if you haven't made it to a couple of them, or if you ever miss any, the replays will always be on Dr. Nekeshia Hammond YouTube page. So I will have the replays for you, so you can always go. Again, if you have the book, great. You can highlight, underline, whatever it is you need to do. If you don't have the book, it's all good. You're still invited. Still going over the book with y'all. Okay, chapter 9. So this section actually is about physical self-care. So chapter 9 is about your nutrition, your movement, your sleep. One of the things I want you to recognize and remember, right? You may have heard this before, but I really want you to strongly remember when you're reading this chapter that your physical health is very much tied to your mental health as well. There is a mind-body connection, which means if you are overworked, overtired, not getting enough sleep, not eating well, not taking care of your physical body in some way, like for long periods of time, that also takes a toll on your mental health as well. For those of you who are not new to Mental Health Moment, you may have heard me share before my own journey, if you will, with burnout, which of course now I talk about burnout prevention with different corporations and organizations. But there was a time, not now, but there was a time, unfortunately, when I didn't value getting the sleep that I needed and the nutrition I needed. And because of those choices, though, what happens is over time, it can lead to burnout. It can lead to being overwhelmed, overstressed. It can lead to depression, anxiety, all sorts of other issues can pop up when we're not taking care of our physical health. Okay. So the first thing to think about is your nutrition. I know, especially with the holidays coming up, you all, for those of you who celebrate the holidays, you're going to be tempted, right? There's just a lot around us as far as our nutrition. I'm not going to say whether or not you make the decision of indulging in the treats and the sweets and all the things of the holidays. However, that might be a little exception time period, right? Maybe you're all like, okay, I'm gonna start my diet in January. But however, also realize it's not only just about the holidays, obviously, it's overall. So the entire year. When you think about having the healthy diet, when you think about what changes do you absolutely need to make when it comes to your diet. Um, I put in here very boldly having a healthy diet, which can positively impact your physical health, can also lead to positive mental health outcomes as well. Plenty of research on this topic, as I just mentioned, right? And what was interesting, this Dr. Eva Selhub, hopefully I'm saying her last name right. She wrote, I found an article of hers, I put it in here in a Harvard Health blog. It was called Nutritional Psychiatry: Your Brain on Food. And she really talked about, which was pretty fascinating, you're just really taking a look at your diet and how it can really truly affect your mental well-being, right? So she talked about the positive mental health outcomes that can come about. She looked at things like, well, our Western diet, if you will, versus Mediterranean diet, traditional Japanese diet. How looking at is your diet high in vegetables, fruits, unprocessed grains, fish, seafood, those sorts of things. So again, this probably is not something new that you've heard, like to eat healthy. But the point I want to make in this chapter is, yes, eating healthy is good for your physical health, but also, which we've talked about before, a mental health moment, but also when you start to eat healthy and change your habits for the good, you're also impacting your mental health as well. So the other part is movement. So there's three parts, subparts of this chapter. The other thing is movement. What I want to tell you about with this chapter when it comes to movement, and something I strongly advocate for is, well, first of all, talk to your physician, because all of us have different physical abilities when it comes to movement. But with the approval of your physician, please do things with movement that work best for you, that bring you joy, that are going to get the results that you want, but also bring you joy. You're allowed to be happy. There's things that I don't, there's things that I don't love about movement. When I'm at the gym and we have to do biking, I hate the bike. Some people love the bike. They're like, oh yes, we're biking today, right? Like that's just cycling. Not my thing, right? If it's running, I'm like, I love running. Other people are like, oh, I hate running, right? But what is it for you? Do you like walking, hiking, running, biking, swimming? What is it for you that you love? And are you utilizing what brings you joy when it comes to your movement? And again, all of us are at different levels, right? Helpguide.org, I put in this chapter too, but helpguide.org, maybe someone can put it in the chat. Help, HELP as in Paul, guide.org, has a really great article. It's called The Mental Health Benefits of Exercise. Again, so many research articles about the benefits of exercise, what it can do for your mental health, how it can help to reduce depression, reduce anxiety, help you with the neurotransmitters in your brain, help you with the hormones in your body. You all already know this, but I'm going to remind you of this because it's really, really critically important when you think about your mental health and your wellness. And then the last part for this chapter, this is just a shorter chapter, but the last part of this chapter is about your sleep. Now, I have met thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people at this point in my career, you all. And I have heard time and time and time and time again that I can't turn my brain off, or my thoughts are racing, or I just can't get to sleep because I'm thinking about what I need to do tomorrow, or what happened yesterday, or I'm waking up during the night because I'm thinking about something I'm worried about, fill in the blank. So I get it. I know that it can be really difficult if you're a person that struggles with sleep. There's a lot of reasons there's a lot of reasons that sleep issues occur. It could be something physically going on with you. There's also a lot of people I've met that say I have physical pain in my body that's waking me up. Or on the mental health side, I have depression or anxiety or something else, worrisome thoughts, something else that's waking me up. Or sometimes it's a combination of the two. The most important thing for this part, though, there's something called sleep hygiene. So that could be a whole mental health moment. So I encourage you to check that out. It's called sleep hygiene. If you look at, and I named some of them in here, but if you look at some of your habits related to your sleep, related to your sleep routine, what's called sleep hygiene, what are you doing before bed? Are you on your phone and then you try to go to sleep, a minute later, which really is not going to help you fall asleep adequately? Are you getting quality sleep? Like there's all these questions that you should be asking yourself when it comes to your sleep. Again, for some of you listening, you're like, I'm good. Like sleep is good. For some of you, you're like, it's a struggle. And there's also different types of sleep issues. So maybe you have a problem falling asleep or staying asleep or a combination, but I would definitely want to remind you that the quality of your sleep is really critically important. I will say personally, now that I have made it a mission, you all, for the majority of the time, to make sure I'm getting 7 hours or more of sleep. That's my optimal. Everybody has an optimal number. Mine is about 7 hours of sleep. It is a world of difference for my mental health and physical health too. Now with this time change that just happened a week ago, I will say, you all, which is so aggravating because I'm not a morning person, I've been waking up an hour earlier than I want to, which I'm like, okay, body, just adjust. But I'm also trying to give my body patience because I just don't do well with time changes to begin with. So it just really affects my sleep cycles because normally if I wake up like, let's say 6:15 ish, then I'm up at like 5:15 because my body doesn't quite know, my brain hasn't caught on yet that we've switched the times. But typically, um, that is something that's very, very important. So again, think about what it is for you. You may or may not know this. So you may know, you know what? I know that I need to stop eating so late, or I need to get off my cell phone or get off screens or TV or whatever it is. You may already know, like, oh, I know what I need to do. If you don't know, that might be a conversation that you want to have with your physician, right? If this is something that's really an issue for you. But what I want you to know from this chapter as a whole is that your physical health, your nutrition, your movement, and your sleep is still critically important for your mental health too, in addition to physical health. All right, so that is chapter 9. In a nutshell, next week, obviously, I'll be going to chapter 10, which is, this section is about emotional self-care. And again, for those of you just tuning in, I am going through mindset training. Hopefully you can see it. There we go. Conquer your mind and the rest will follow. We've been going through actually for the last couple of weeks here. And then next week, I'm going to start at chapter 10. So I'm giving you, a highlight of these chapters. Again, if you want to grab the book, it's easy because you can highlight, make notes, whatever you want to do in there. If not, it's all good. Do what works best for you. But I will be back. Have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, you guys.